Hi, friends. I guess specifically, hello, arcade. I am so excited for the art book release. Is Blackout Hospital on Steam officially, or is the release of the 16th or later for both game and art book? Also, my model's face is like freaking out this afternoon. It's fine. Either way, incredibly excited. I can wishlist it. Hey, I'm gonna do that right now. Or will then, whenever. Hey, Farley, can you get off my desk, please? Thank you. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. I will probably wait until later to pick it up then. But I will, because I wanna. What was I doing? Right. Yeah, it's Blackout Hospital Day, which is exciting. Excuse me. I have officially wishlisted the game. I should link that in, well, no, we're gonna keep it on the itch page because people can purchase it there. And we like that. But yeah, hello, welcome. It is in fact Monday, despite, hey, face. Chill out, face. Despite it being, hey, why do we just look panicked all the time? We're not scared! It's because my glasses are covering up my eyebrows, isn't it? I think that's the case. It's true! We're so excited for all of the wonderful gameplay that we're gonna get to today. Here, I am gonna do this. We're just gonna set it to a neutral expression. Maybe, potentially. Can you imagine? I don't consider myself to have huge eyebrows as it is, but I love big eyebrows. I think they're delightful and fun. I'll draw on bigger eyebrows so that my camera can maybe pick it up a little better. But hi Fruity, how's it going? We are an anime cache today. Hold on. Y'all are gonna hold on. I'm gonna move to the starting soon screen for a second so I can fix a thing. Don't worry about it. We'll do none. Okay. I'll just manually trigger expressions because it was having a hard time, I guess. Excuse me, sorry. Nem and Arcade, thank you for the contributions to Wholesome Week. Also, hello, Nem. Hang on. Listen. Shh, listen. Grip it and rip it. Fruity, thank you as well for the contribution. Yeah. It's Blackout Hospital Day. We're gonna play more Blackout Hospital, which is what Blackout Hospital Day means. And I'm excited. I don't know. Listen, it's been a good day so far, and I'm here for it. Work started out a little crazy, and then it got okay, and then I got to hang out with my friend Allie. I got to hang out with Odd Moose for a little bit because it's her birthday, and we watched some Bluey together. And then I went and watched a silly movie with Nem and Fruity, and it was delightful. And now I'm here, streaming, and I am tired, but I'm not, like, full-on exhausted, and I'm gonna take that as a win. Bluey is so cute! Listen! I wasn't certain at first, but I trust Allie, and Allie was correct. It was a very precious, very wholesome show, and I liked it. Apparently she thinks I am like Muffin. And that's fine, because Muffin is perfect. But yeah, and then we got we saw a man get ipped. He ip a man. No, it was great. It was delightful. It's been very nice. But I am excited to get into video game. So maybe we video game now? Y'all wanna do a video game maybe? Let me get my cursor out of there. Right. Reggie's on our team now. We're in the basement? It's basement time. It's Blitio game time. What is our objective? Travel further into the basement. Perfect. Okay, great. Right. We managed to cross the thing. The metal road. Got a maze now. Hi, Jelly. It's the jellyfish, IV bags, and the squid. Let's get out of here. Get me out of here. I am still saving up money for better items for our pals. I think Bacillus is the only one we don't have, like, a good weapon for, right? And we still need to get armor for everybody. We gotta get... We'll just go ahead and do this. We gotta get the coat for Reggie, and the eye patch for Mary, and... I forgot what armor item... It's fine. Well, I want their money is the thing. Hi, Cyril. Hey, it's my good friend Cyril. Cyril! How are you doing, pal? You have internet now, right? Hey, Cyril. Hey, Cyril. Cyril, my love. Yeah, we're gonna left-hand wall the maze. It's gonna be fine. Don't even worry about it. Oh, wait a minute. There's 2 pointing to the right and 1 pointing to the left. You're on the internet! Cyril is on the internet! Listen! Hey! Listen! I'm gonna have to... Oh, thanks. Oh, thanks. Oh, thanks. It's very wiggly and I love it. I need to set up a DM with Cyril and Smiley and Fruity and Sam so we can all find a time to watch Skinamarink together, okay? It is. This is Animation. They are incredibly wiggly. I love it. I can just... It's very good. Also, we have a piece of paper that says, The State of Death! I think this, because I've started to notice this kind of pattern between them. Those who have a harder time returning to normal, I think their pain must be more intense. It must have something to do with how they died. Can't see any other reason for why they would manifest in such a dark way. I wonder what someone like you must have went through in your final moments to turn into something so... bloody? Grisly? Yeah, Skinamarink Party. Gruesome. I'm very excited for when we get to all watch scary movie together, you know? Again, I'm just gonna get through here real fast. Or as fast as possible. The But yeah, how are you doing, Cyril? How is it going? How is the new place? Fill me in as much as you want. Just know that I will DM you and ask you all these questions anyway, now that I know you have internet. 60 money. How much money do we have? 122. There's nothing of use in the cabinet. This is a maze? This is a maze. Wait, let me... There was more in there, but it just ended up... That's all that ended up happening. It's fine. Hey, Vasilis is dying, and that's not great. Skin and Marink will scare you. I can almost guarantee this. It scared the shit out of me when I saw it. But I also saw it in a theater, and it was just, it was an experience. We're gonna go this way. Yeah, well, Fruity, you also fell asleep during The Exorcist. But no, I'm really glad that the new place is lovely, and that you're having a nice time there. Good. Good. This makes me very pleased. The Exorcist is a very relaxing movie. Facts. Also, we have another note. I understand he just wanted to help them, but I think it's getting out of hand now. In a way, it starts to feel like he's lying to them. I mean, come on, this isn't recovery. They're just obsessed with him now. It's like they're experiencing withdrawals at this point. Sitting here, watching them all go crazy over him. Collecting any garbage that has the potential to light up. I don't know what they're expecting from that. Do they think it'll fix them? Are they just trying to attract him? When you exercise, you feel better. Listen, it's a little cramped in here. You just gotta make some room in your body, that's all. Hell, it scares me to think that I could have been someone in their position. If I hadn't been expecting something like this to happen to me. Okay, my assumption is that E is Emerald, whom I love and I miss. I got an alarm clock. Wait, what does that do? It wakes up sleeping party members. Okay. Makes sense. But if Emerald is E, who... Wait. I went in a circle. Wait, how did I do that? Okay, wait. No, I know. Get me out of there. No, that's fine. That's okay, Cyril. Do your cleaning. Do your little lurky lurk. It makes me happy that you're here, though. Okay, so I need to go right, then left, then right. You gotta get out of my way, buddy. It's the ISO power again. Her! Ma'am who I would let do a murder on me. I need to heal up the party. Ooh! You should send me pictures of those because they sound cute. Moving into a new place is rough because you do got to get all that cleaning done. But it'll feel so nice once you do have it done because then it's I mean, like, it's already a clean slate, right? But then you get to make it even more specific to how you want it. Yes, please. Thank you, Cyril. I love I like it when my friends get new nice things and are also in nice situations. Listen, I'm very happy for you. That was me drinking a soda. That's why I went all up. Okay. I need to maze focus. Focusing on maze. And this is where we got the alarm clock. Yeah. When all the ocean enemies are in one battle, I call it Deep Sea Medley. Ooh. Okay. Oh! Flashlight! Flashlight! There's a flashlight. We gotta get out of here. Are there just of the main creatures? Of the main mobs? Are there just the three? The Ivy Jellyfish, the Iso Power, and Squod? Squealed? Okay. Cool. Mostly I just wanted to make sure I hadn't, like, missed one yet. Hey, look, a flashlight. No, that is totally fair. You've been working on this for a while. Should we take it? I don't know. I feel like we're already carrying a lot. Besides, a flickering flashlight is bound to give me more of a headache than anything else. Yeah, I guess so. But... Bacillus. Listen. Buddy. I want it. You have to give it to me. What's this? TV on a roller. Seems to be playing the same commercial advertisement on repeat. Hey, I know this commercial. Yeah, me too. The jingle always gets stuck in my head. Nothing beats the taste of a doorbell chip. Huh. What? Why are you both looking at me like that? You're supposed to say the last part of the jingle. Ding dong, ding dong. What? Have you never seen this commercial? It plays constantly. You just have to say ding dong, ding dong. I don't know what the both of you are talking about. Ugh, whatever. Forget it. Dr. Tetra, you're no fun. The fact that Bacillus knew it and was like, yeah, let's sing this. Listen. Doorbell chip. Okay. Let's just do some quick fights. Cause we gotta get through here. That was very cute. Let's go. Get me out of here. But have you, it's true, but have we drawn the doorbell chips? Are they shaped like little doorbells? I miss Screwy. That would be delightful. Listen, give me a game and I will cling to the weird, obscure aspects of it. It does mean that we don't get Screwy the Screw. Sorry, I got the wrong face on for a second. We don't get Screwy the Screw as a party member. It's very sad. It's okay, I guess. I need to do laundry so my Screwy shirt is clean again. It's like... It's definitely one of the first shirts that I wear after doing laundry. I love it. I love that silly shirt. Slash, I saw your post earlier about, well, I say earlier, wasn't that long ago. Saw your post about, post about merch. and I need more. No pressure! Take your time. There's already stuff up that I can buy, but yeah. A post with the most. It's buzzing with messages. Is the phone. There's an incoming phone call. Pick it up? Yes? I answer the phone. A voice croaks through the other end. Oh? I didn't expect to hear you answer the phone. How did you wind up here again? It's because of her, right? But mostly, it's because of them. I wish I could have stopped them. Protected you a bit more. But it's out of my hands. I couldn't stop her decision. And now they've got their paws all over you. Waiting for an opening. Your life. What a tragic existence. But maybe I can save you from them. Once you come to me. I'll be waiting for you.
Huh?
Hey, are you okay? Who's on the phone? I don't know. I'm sure it's fine. I wouldn't worry about it. Okay, so we got a phone, we found a flashlight. Just a... Hello?
Oh.
Ioro? Is that how you say that? Oh. I was wondering if I'd run into into somebody else here. You're a patient?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. What gave it away?
Well,
I was just checking. Besides, I wouldn't just be lying on the floor here if I were you. I like their mask. Oh, damn! Why? You do a shit job cleaning the place? Look, I think someone might be looking for you, actually. If you know Ollie, then maybe... Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know Ollie. I'll go see if I can find them. By yourself? Yeah. Suit yourself, I guess. We have a new friend to look at. Shark friend! Ioro is not very talkative, and you find yourself getting little information out of them. All you know is that Ioro doesn't care how you refer to them. Him, her. I love them! Good sharky friend. Good to shark a friend. I didn't recognize them for a moment. Since the last time I saw them, you had drawn them in a lovely little dress. It's the deep sea medley. Hey, it's the deep sea medley. They did have good socks on. We got it. It happa. It happa. Oh, everyone's getting hurt. Oh, Reggie. Oh, Reggie, honey. Hi, Emmy. How's it going, friend? How are you doing? I need to heal my buddies. Fuck. Okay, well, listen. We got a lot of things here. I'm excited that you could as well. We're here, we're doing stuff. It's gonna be great. I accidentally gave Reggie more milk than I meant to, but you know what? That's okay. He deserves it. We got another deep sea medley! Listen. Ooh. I forgot that he can heal. Don't at me. Thank you for reminding me. Listen. I in fact have said multiple times I am bad at these kinds of games. I'm bad at these kinds of combat. It's fine. Look, I had lots of strawberry milk. And I bought it for this specific reason. It's fine. One day I will remember that Reggie heals. Healer. Heal thyself. Actually, he should probably do that now? Nope. Special. Yeah. Yeah. Mary missed! Okay, let's do a fight. And then heal up Bacillus, please. Didn't take any damage. Well, now Mary's getting got. And Reggie doesn't have any more MP. Thanks. They were the closest that they had that were mine? That were like mine? We love eyebrows here. We know this. This is a fact. In fact, we were just talking about it earlier. We love eyebrows here. Eyebrows. Very good. Yeah. How much money do I have? 642. Yeah, this is an eyebrow-friendly zone. We welcome any and all eyebrows here. May I browse your eyebrows? I want to get up there. I need a shop. Yo, Twyla? Twyla has some very good eyebrows. Listen. Oh, jeez. We gotta do a murder here. Arcade, I love you, but this maze is too long. You get all the really, really weird, sometimes cursed, definitely strange conversations when you're just, I mean, even if you're here and you know what's going on, it'll still just be weird. No one understands big eyebrows until they see Twyla. Our sweet, sweet baby. Oh, Mary! Hey! Ma'am? Wait, Mary has that MP restore, which she can't use at the moment because... do that on yourself, Mary. Because then we can MP restore Reggie, and then Reggie can heal Mary. Never mind. Maybe we'll just do a murder. I need there to be less enemies. Hey, a handheld game console with a game over screen sits on the floor. Deep Sea Medley is all 3 enemy types showing up on a screen at the same time. So we get Ivy Jellyfish, the squid, and the isopod lady.
Oh?
That's a Deep Sea Medley. Is this a Game Gal? I remember these. Haven't seen one in forever, though. A Game Gal? What's that? It's the copyright-friendly version of a Game Boy. Seriously? Have you been living under a rock? These have existed since we were kids. Pretty sure I still have my old one in the closet somewhere. If we ever get out of this mess, maybe I'll bring it in and show you. I have the limited ruby-colored one. Ooh! Really? I'd like that. Red's actually my favorite color, you know. Guess you must feel pretty lucky to be born a redhead, huh? I mean, it's kind of lucky I was born at all. Oh! What? Oh, never mind. I shouldn't get into all that stuff right now. Sure. Okay. Mary, you're being a little silly again. Mary, you're doing that thing. Okay, get me out of here. I know I could run away, but also give me the money. you know? They didn't give me that much money, and that's kind of tragic. Hi, a candle? Before I grab it. Golden defibrillator. Arcade won't send me into battles I'm not capable of handling. Yeah, exactly. This is your circus and I am your monkey. Let's go. A lit candle. Flame sways with an air of loneliness. I am the silliest clown. Ha ha ha. Oh, jeez. Everything alright? Oh! I'm an idiot. All of these things are things that have light, and we saw a note that mentioned that things that give off light are being collected here? I'm an idiot. Took me a while to put that together. Oh my god. Alright. Everything alright? It's bad to light a fire in a hospital. That's all. Dr. Tetra scuffs out the flame. That is incredibly rude, Reggie. That was for someone. Okay. I guess we'll go this way. Another deep sea medley. I'm sorry, that is what I'm clinging to now. That's the thing here. Oh, Mary's not doing too hot. Oh, Mary's not doing too great. Bacillus, end it. And I guess we'll give that to Reggie as well, because he needs the MP. Squiffin. Not quite there. Special. We can only do... This is a problem. I'll do Soothe on Mary now so she at least has enough health to get through this. Actually, go back. Fight. Double. Mary, you still don't have enough to do your restore. Let's just end it. Get us out of here. We must be free. Thank God! Holy shit. Doing a save. Everyone is healed. Should have checked these first, but you know what? It's fine. No! Nuh-uh. No! I'm not teleporting to the start of the maze! Gross! Is that it?
Hey.
Oh, thank fuck. I was starting to think we'd never get out of here. Don't speak too fast. We haven't actually seen if the stairs are still intact. Don't say that. Yeah, really, don't. Uh-oh. It got darker, right? It's fine. The stairs are right ahead. You're right. Let's just go.
No.
Hello? Leave? After all you've done? Wait! Is it Smiles? You think I would just let you leave? Have you any idea what they've been through? Have you any idea what you've put them through? And all the work I put in to make them feel better? No sympathy or concern for those who were once people too. No patience for people like you. Your cruelty knows no end. Except for me. Look! Love. saved. Arcade, please, I saved. I saved. I love smiles. I love smiles. Oh, okay, sorry. I'm just having a whole moment here. Oh, sorry. Okay. No, the way I read that was I didn't read that as your friend did this. I read that as me, your friend did this, and I was like, that I'm so oh, your poor friend. Oh, jeez. Grindle, I love you. Okay, let's... No, that's okay. We just had a moment of me being like, excuse you. It's fine. Everything is fine. What can we do? We have a team restore, and we've got the MP for that. I don't need to do that right now. So let's attack. Mary's gonna give Hyperfection to Basilis so that they can get in their double attacks eventually. Oh, I wish I had a stronger weapon for Basilis. This is fine, though. We're gonna do great, actually. Oh my god, they have a lot of health. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. We'll inflict sickness, and that requires energy, not MP. Okay, good to know. Grindle is sick. Yeah, it's fine. What just happened? Okay. It's fine. We're doing great, actually. Sorry, thinking, contemplating, considering. Only 37. It's fine! He hits a lot, and he hits a lot, and in total, it's a lot, but individually, it's not a whole ton. I can work with this. I have to... I have to big brain for a minute, and I'm not good at that. Basilis. Honey. Okay. Mary. Wait. And then... Don't attack. Reggie, I need you to... heal everyone for some. Okay, okay. Reggie, wake up! I do have an alarm clock. I think it's okay if Reggie's asleep for right now. Why isn't Basilis getting any energy? It's fine. It's fine. Everyone is asleep! Mary! Not defend! Fuck! Shit! Ass! Piss! Okay. Okay. No, that makes more sense. Thank you for the clarification, but also ass! It's fine. Reggie is awake now. And we'll heal Basilis. I guess I think I think I had thought Basilis had been hit a couple of times when they hadn't. Ooh, look at all that energy that Reggie has! Okay, no, this is fine. We can work with this. Dual attack. Mary, you can MP restore yourself, and Reggie, you can also MP restore yourself. Good job. And Reggie's asleep again. Attack. Mary. Inflict. Big sickness. Grendel is very sick. Okay. Dual attack. Shit. And as concerned as I am feeling okay about this fight. I will just be concerned until we win, is the thing. I should be able to heal everybody. We're in the orange. It's orange now. Okay, Mary, do an attack on Grendel, and Reggie isn't quite at Team Restore. Fuck. But he's very close to being able to MP, so I'm gonna risk it. Ah. 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 Don't have enough for Ruin, and I don't wanna... Let's get Decay in there. And then Reggie... Not defend! Shit! I keep doing that! It's fine! It's fine. Vasilis is awake. Mary... also attack. And then Reggie... MP restore... Please don't die in the next turn. Okay, it's unfortunate that Mary is asleep, but that works in our favor. And then special and team restore. Hey! Oh, that missed. Oh, everyone is asleep. Mary's awake though. Okay. Special. Yeah, MP restore for Mary. Oh, Vasilis flinched. Grendel is feeling much better. Well, good for him. Attack. Reggie. Defend so that we can MP restore next turn and then heal everyone again? That should work? Shit. Attack, Mary, Ruin, special, MP. Okay, I'm feeling good about this. When I say it's fine, I think I actually mean it's fine. We're red! Okay, attack, and then team restore. Oh, get my cursor out of there. Just attack. Just all-out attack. Everyone just attack. Mary dodged that. Good job. Get him. Get him. Go. Go. Get him. Get him. Get him. That's because everyone on my team is amazing. He has, like, no health. Look at this. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. Eat shit. I love you. And we got 300 money for that. And Mary is level 8. Holy fuck. Whoa. What are you guys doing?
Oh.
Emerald. Emerald? Dang, I was hoping I'd run into him before you guys did. But now that I'm here, yo, Smiles, take it easy. In fact, you know what? Enough is enough, actually. Enough all of this. This has gone too far. Huh? These guys? They helped me, alright? They ain't any sort of bad guy you need to beat down on. Emerald, you know it's my job to protect. No one gave you that job but yourself, Doctor. Protecting the spirits. As if they need that. You're so scared of them hurting the spirits, completely ignoring these spirits are hurting them. Well, that's just... The spirits are just protecting themselves. They've already been through so much turmoil. They're putting us through turmoil. Huh? Listen, Smiles. I've been letting things slide, but not anymore. You want to help these spirits down here, right? These tortured souls or whatever. But ain't it going too far at this point? I know you want to help them, and you feel bad for them. They're people too. I get that. Swear I do. But, well, how much are you really helping them by letting them get away with hurting others? After all, look at them. You know how it goes. If they were really getting better, they'd look a bit more like us, wouldn't they? Well, I just wanted to help them. Help them do what? Kill us faster? Thank you, Travis, for the contribution to Wholesome Week. Hi, friend. Oh, goodness. I really have gone about this all wrong, haven't I? Here, I thought I was helping them, and yet, maybe I wasn't being as helpful as I thought. They just looked so much happier around me. I thought that... I'm so sorry. Let me actually help you and patch you up a bit after that. Why the hell are we getting attacked anyways, huh? What did we do? I'd like to apologize on their behalf. They're just very scared, and they aren't very receptive to change. You know how people are. And then on my end, I am very concerned about them, you see. Maybe I worry a bit too much. Shouldn't have blinded myself to the idea that you needed to protect yourself as well. Despite all that, I do request that you be gentle with them. Deep down, they're no different from you and I, and they really are just afraid in the end. Yeah, and I'm not. I'm not saying you can't defend yourself. Just please be careful when you do. There. You should feel much better now. There we go! Everyone cool now? We good? Sorry again for the trouble I've caused you. You'll have to believe me when I say it's very unlike me. You are a doctor here? Yes, I am. Is it so strange? There are beings here who need my help. What kind of doctor would I be if I did not help my patients feel better? Yeah, Reggie's here, and he's perfect, and he's in our team. And I love him.
Well...
Say, by any chance, you wouldn't happen to know any way to get out of this place, would you? Not just the basement, like, all of this? Like, back to where it's normal, at least? Normal for us? unsure of how I'd be able to help. It's true! Smooches for Reggie. All the time. Constantly. We love him. Oh, hiccups. But I did pick up this earlier when I was looking for something. Maybe it'll help. 7th floor bridge key? Well, I guess it's as much help as anything. Thanks. Of course. I hope you all find what you're looking for. Grindle has been added to characters. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to save! Alright. And then... a doctor and anglerfish! Grindle is quite popular in the basement for the comforting light he provides and his friendly smile. Attacking all threats, he is determined to make sure everyone in the basement feels safe and at peace. I love him. He's very good. Speaking of love, though, we haven't talked to Reggie or Mary in a minute. You jingle a lot.
Huh?
Like, walking. You jingle a lot. What are you carrying? Oh, it's a bunch of junk, mostly. Pens, notepads, my house keys, etc. I'm sorry, I must be quite noisy to walk with. It's fine, I just hope we don't need to sneak around quietly anywhere. Hey, do you live around here? Who wants to know? Oh, no, sorry if that was rude. I just, you know, look out the windows a lot. I was wondering if there's some nice things to do in this area. I always thought it'd be nice to explore the space outside the hospital, you know? Yeah, it's pretty alright around here. There's things to do, but I don't ever do any of them. Really? Why not? Doesn't matter. It does, though. Also, long hallway. Cabinets to loot. Doors that are locked. Things I'm not allowed to have. Also, we'll talk to Emerald and Grindle in a moment. Lollipop! And this is why you check every cabinet. What are you doing now, Emerald? Just drawing in my sketchbook. I'm brainstorming my next invention. Oh, you're an inventor? Right as rain. I've been inventing stuff since I was just a little small fry. Oh man, if we could go back to my workshop somehow, I'd have all kinds of things to show you. It'd totally blow your mind. Though, I will admit, my last invention may have backfired on me a little bit. Just a little. Her face. Oh? Oh, I see. Sorry for your, loss? I'm gonna stop talking now. I love Emerald. Hey, Grindle.
Sorry.
Oh, apologies. Apologies, was I staring? Forgive me. I was just thinking. About what? How similar we must be. Huh? I'm confused.
Right.
Disregard it then. It's just assumption on my part anyways. Alright then. Is it because we helped the mouse?
Huh.
It's because we helped the mouse, isn't it? It's weird. It's still dark here, and yet it feels so much lighter than down there. Yeah, I guess. Arcade's like, I'm not gonna say nothing, but... Listen. Pals, buds, friends.
Huh?
What? Mary! Get out of the way. Oh, okay. She's having a seizure. Bacillus. Huh? Yeah? There should be, emergency medicine in the lounge for this. You can't miss it. Go get it. I'll stay here and make sure Mary's condition doesn't get any worse. Are you sure? What are you waiting for? Go already. Okay. Right, I'm on it. Oh, 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 you you actually want me to, okay. Wait, lounge, lounge? Lounge. Lounge. Lounge? Okay, 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 fuck, Tetra, you could have at least given me the name. This? It's gotta be this one, right? It better be. Listen, I don't know where anything is. I'm new. Mary? Are you feeling okay? Yes, I feel better now. We were going to the 7th floor, right? We can go now. I don't know. I am suspicious. Okay. What key did we get? 702. I assume so? Hey! I wish I married you in an emergency room instead of- wait. Bridge key! Yep. Yep, nope, you're right. You're right. I forgot that we had been to the 7th floor before. Oh, lollipop. What this?
Huh?
Rune? Rune?
Oh?
Oh? Hello, everyone. How are you all? I had been trying to get that blasted door open all night. Suppose I have to, you to thank for unlocking it? Rune, what are you doing? Same thing I've been doing all night. Getting my work done. See, you've made some friends in the meantime?
No.
They're not
Yes.
my... Hello, Rune. Evening, Dr. Tetra. So what are you all heading to the West Building for? I don't even know anymore. We're just hoping we'll find some way out of here, I guess. Just the vacant stare from Rune. When did you get so funny, Vasilis? I was just going to collect some papers I left in that building. Would you like to accompany me? Maybe we'll find something for you all to do, too. Sure. Yeah. Sounds good.
All right.
Wonderful. Let's go then, shall we? Is Rune joining our party? Perfect. Okay, yeah, let's get going. No, we're not going anywhere. We're talking to Rune. Just kidding, we're doing a fight. Oh, fuck. It's the deer. These things have been bothering us all goddamn tonight. No worries. I'll take care of this. Rune, what the fuck? There we go. Nasty little critters, aren't they? Let's carry on then. Rune. What the fuck, my dude? Grendel's gonna be so mad at us. I am concerned about everything. Wait, can I want to mop. Right, we can talk to Rune. Fuck. Shit. Ass. Goodness, what happened here now? It looks like that monster from the elevator. Vasilis, is everything alright? Huh? No. Yeah, it's fine. Probably. I'm fine. Just more work for me to clean up. But keep an eye out if you see any of this gunk starting to move, okay? I should also go to the shop and purchase stuff, because we have money? We have money. We have so much money. But also, Rune! Why are you looking at me like that? Oh, it's nothing. Sorry, I didn't mean to stare. Everyone is staring at everyone right now. What the heck? You just have such pretty blue hair.
Oh?
Oh, alright. Thanks. I mean it. It's very pretty. It doesn't worry you, does it? What do you mean by that? You know, they say people with hair like yours are very open to persuasion. Rune? Hey, buddy? Listen, I love you, okay? Let me start out by saying I adore you. But you're giving off more weird vibes than Reggie gives off. And we all know about Reggie at this point. So just saying. What the fuck? Why are we talking about this? Sorry, I'm getting too ahead of myself. I know it's not the hair that makes it that way.
Right.
Look, I don't know how you know this stuff, but I don't want to talk about this with you. Sorry, I'm just worried about you. Aren't you? I think Mary and I should leave. I think the doctor should go on their merry little way, and Mary and I should go off in our own direction as well. Is it level 5 that has the shop? No. It's fine. We'll find it. Here it is. Hey, friends! Oh, it's you. Yep, it's me. You're just hanging out here? Pretty much. Alright then. Mitzi! You know, it's funny. I noticed while walking around here that my arm feels fine. I'm not about to take it out of the cast or anything, don't worry. It's just really weird. I almost can't remember what the pain felt like in the first place. Weird indeed. Hey, I have money. And I want the Super Soaker. And I want... Right? Hey, pretty lady, I got money to spend. Do you want my cash? Oh, we're so close to being able to afford everything! How much do these sell for? 30. 100. 250. 75.
Safe travels.
Equip Dr. Tetra. Have a nice expensive coat. Yeah, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna sell it. I'll consider it, but then I won't actually do it. Also, optimize. Wait, if I just hit that... Okay. I understand. I see. I understand. Also, I can't give anything to Rune. Look at his fucking stats in comparison. Jesus fucking Christ! Note to self, don't piss off Rune. He will absolutely obliterate you. That's Numberwing. It's true. Okay, I've done the purchasing that I wanted to do. We still have to get the mask for... Oh, wait. Actually, can I sell old equipment? Yeah, I can. Other way. N95. And that should be it, right? That's everything for everyone. And then from here on out, I can use all my money to buy like, healing items and stuff. Hey! Listen, I've been inventory managing with Dead Space. I got this. And we're going to floor 7. Back through the bridge. I know what's happening. I should save as well. I could save at the choices that I think are important, but honestly, I'll probably just play through again if I want to try and go for other endings. Which, I'm only getting the one ending on stream. If y'all want to see any of the other endings, that's on you to do. Used to be a water cooler. I just want to cycle through my 5, okay? Listen. I will get lost if I use all 99. I will probably, like, go up to 10 for my second game. But yeah. Okay. No, I'm not gonna ask, actually. I don't want to know. Don't answer anything for me. Can't tell me nothing. Also, everything seems to be locked. I'm sure I can access the elevator. Wait, what? The doors are blocked with a mysterious pink substance, preventing you from opening it. I just want to clean up the spills. I have a super soaker. Let me clean up the spills. Ugh, gross. Well, lucky for us, the 6th floor is just where I need to go. Sure thing. I need to get into the center room. Fairly certain that's where I left my stuff. Rune, I'm concerned. Before we go in there... Hey, I would let you. No, I mean, it'd be cool. It'd be cool if we got the true ending on our first go, but I am bad at making choices. You don't know where to get, or you don't know how to get in here, do you? I don't have any key on me. What about that? What about what? On the door. The window. Hmm? Go! Go! Fetch the key! What the... Is someone inside? When did... Who... Oh, I'm sorry. I have to wipe my nose because I am sniffly and full of snot. Excuse me. Ah! There's goo everywhere now. Suppose we're on a little treasure hunt, huh, then. Bit of goo. Hi. A moving pile of slime? Looks like there's something in the middle, but it's hard to see what it is. No. I just wanted to see if they all had something in the middle of them. Are there any up here? No. Yes? You reach your hand into the slime creature's center. Hold on a second. Let me recenter myself. Speaking of. The slime fights back. Rune, you can just defend for a little bit, buddy. I'm scared of the damage that he will do. Doesn't even matter. Slime dissipates. Look! Rune scares me right now, is the thing. And we've got it handled. It's fine. Just defend. He can sit back and watch us kick ass, you know? Don't judge me. Look, I'm just scared. Rune is scary at the moment. Also, ugh. Okay. I grab something! Slime splatters apart with a shriek as you rip it from its center. Key! L key! This has to be the key, right? Only one way to find out. L key! Oh, there they are. I like how his hair wiggles when he's rolling around. Hey, the OR is in this building, right? First floor? Because the ambulances come from this building too. Do you think we'd all be able to get out of here from the garage somehow? Oh, Bacillus, don't be silly. There's still so much work I have to get done before I can even fathom leaving right now. And I'm still missing that one paper I was looking for before. Better go keep looking for it. Are you not coming with us anymore? Sorry, all. There's just way too much I've got to do. And it seems like you're all preoccupied already. I'll see you later, okay? Okay, bye!
Well...
So... the garage? Yeah, first floor. Cabin is nothing of use. Bookshelf is full of books, nothing special here. Yeah, same. Oh, Rune. Select the desired floor. One, please. Oh. Oh. There are multiple notes and notices dotting the board. Read one? Are you ready to watch me struggle, then? Okay, green note. The new team member has been a wonderful addition to the hospital. He brings a smile to everyone around him. We feel truly lucky to have him working with us. Everything's gotten better since he arrived. And everyone knows it. The hospital feels a lot warmer with him around. There's no name here, but the date's old. Is this about Rune? Notice to after-hours visitors. If you are visiting between the hours of 10 p.m. and 6 a.m., please expect to provide valid identification. Okay. Notice to all staff, patients, and visitors. If you find Gigi's toolbox, please bring it to the front desk. Thank you. One purple note. This is a smoke-free facility. If you are caught smoking, you will be... The words become weirdly smudged, but clear up towards the end. Some things just can't be helped. Are we doing murders on smokers here? Okay, we'll do a save. Note lies on the counter. Gigi, if you're looking for your toolbox, it's already been returned to the closet on the 5th floor. Maybe you'd... Sorry, saw something moving in the corner? It's... Okay, it's the slime dripping on the wall, but it's like just at the edge of the screen and I couldn't figure out what was going on for a second. Maybe you'd find it there if you didn't take so many snack breaks. The goop. It drip. That's kind of cool. Can I look at the computer? Computer is on despite the power outage. Nope, just acknowledging that it's on. Yeah, should have seen this coming, huh? Can't we just rip it down like before? We don't have the axe anymore. Axe? Where did you two find it? Hello? Wait, no, I'm not trying. I was trying to get into the cabinet both times. Where did that come from? Oh! We got the X-ray room key. That door is locked. Doors are blocked with mysterious pink substance. This would be the X-ray room, but what's in here? Maternity ward. You have to press the buzzer to get in. No, I'm not gonna press the buzzer for right now. Skellington. Something weird about this room, isn't there? I do have a save state right there. It's true. That's almost like you encouraging me to push it. I'm gonna save again just because we opened up a door. I pressed the buzzer.
Please come back when you're alone. Please come back when you're alone.
Okay. Okay. Machine is powered off and doesn't seem to be able to be turned on. Unlike the others, this machine is powered on. You don't have any x-rays to view. Okay. Can't interact with that cabinet. An old skeleton model held together by screws and wires. Screwy! Screwy is here! Why do we even have this? Are you guys gonna forget what a skeleton looks like? Wasn't aware being a doctor was such an open book test. Are you trying to be clever? Just trying to make a joke, I guess. We love Screwy here. Got another defibrillator. Nothing of use, nothing of use, nothing of use. There's a note on the machine. Note to everyone. I know the new hire really likes Chuck, unsurprisingly, but please keep Chuck in the x-ray rooms. He's not necessarily fragile, but I did spend a lot of time putting him together. Chuck. No, stop talking, Vasilis. I want to put Chuck in there. Controls to operate the x-ray machine. I can handle this part if there's something you want to x-ray. Really? But you're not a radiologist. No, but neither are you. Let me know when the x-ray is ready to be taken, or when you want to stop. Hi, Reggie. Oh, not me activating things multiple times. X-ray machine. You'll need an X-ray cassette if you hope to use it. Okay. we do love us a capable man. We're done. Well, let's go for right now, Reggie. We're just getting a feel for what's around here at the moment, you know? Door is locked. We did have that note that mentioned that the toolbox was on the 5th floor. I guess we could do that. Super electrolyte water. Also, piece of paper lies here. It's incredible! I learn something new about them every time I encounter one. I wish I could know the reason why, though. I'll have to continue observing you. Such a change. Just how were you able to do that? Did you get stronger? Or is the pain simply getting worse? The rest of the page is covered by a mysterious black stain, like an ink blot. Door is locked. Let me test 3. 5. 6. That's covered in goop. Janitor's closet. It is locked. 7 is locked. 8 is locked. 9 is locked. 1 is locked. Yeah, we'll figure it out. We're gonna wander around for a little bit and get a feel for everything. Maybe I missed something, you know? And I want to be thorough. Ollie! Ollie!
Hey.
Ollie, what's up with you? I can't. I was such a useless friend. Been looking everywhere for them, every room I could get into, and I can't find them. I don't understand. I can sense they're in the hospital, I just don't know where. Wow, gee, Ollie, it's almost like this is a big hospital and people move around. Oh, quit it, Vasilis. I don't have the energy for this right now. I mean, it might interest you to know that I have seen them. And they even told me they were looking for you.
Oh.
Wait, really? Oh! Oh, gosh, Vasilis, I didn't even realize you had friends with you there. Didn't even sense them. You're very pretty friends. They're not my... Wait, what?
Yes.
Yes, I've met you before. I believe you were being escorted out the building last time I saw you. Yeah, so sorry. I know it's not the, best first impression. And you are? Who, me? I'm, Mary. Mary? Like the Mary? That means... Oh gosh, I feel like I should have met you a lot sooner then. But I'm happy to meet you now. Huh? I'm confused. Did they not tell you about me? What? What is it? Your hand. Oh. Just like the hair! Ollie's hair says just like me and Mary says the question mark. You see him.
You see him too, don't you?
Huh?
The
Who?
unicorn man?
Ollie, what the fuck? I love Ollie. Sorry, it just feels
No.
like... Never mind. What were we talking about before? You saw my friends, right? Then I shouldn't stop looking for them. What? I didn't say anything related to that second point. I'm gonna find them this time, though. I'm sure of it. I ought to get going then. Ollie, you're so stupid. Yeah, I know you are, but what am I? Whatever. But I mean it. I can sense them stronger now. I think I know where they are, now that they're stationary. So I'm gonna go reach them before they go on the move again. Friend of yours? Far from it. Okay, I know we're doing puzzles right now, but I want to go see if Ollie found them. No time at all. I want to see if they found them. They have to have found their friends. Yes! Oh, hey. Looks like you found them, huh? Oh, yes! I feel much better now that we're all together again. I was real worried, you know? Plus, Itzy said my hair came out nice today, and Ioro said it was cute that I was so worried. You're doing it again. Uh-huh? Doing what? Jeez, Ollie, do you just get a crush on anyone you speak to? What the hell? No, of course not! After all, I don't have a crush on you. Oh, jeez. Keep gawking at me like that, I'm gonna think you like me or something. Too bad I'm out of your league. Wow! Well, you know what? I'm happy they all found each other. Good for them. Wonderful. I'm glad they found each other. That makes me very happy. Oh, wait. 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 Yeah, non-binary on non-binary hostility. Oh, heck. It's fine. Ollie and Basilis are both precious in their own ways, and I love them both. Okay. It's a hospital bed. Let's go back to the first floor. The red note was about the toolbox. If you're looking for your toolbox, it's already been returned to the closet on the 5th floor. Okay. But we can't access the closet because it's locked. And I don't have the thing that I need here. And I need a cartridge in order to do an X-ray. That's gooped. 5th floor. We've been to the 6th floor? Yeah, because this is where we got the notes for Rune. Well, there wasn't anything else in here for the time being. Okay. Again, covering my bases, trying to figure out where I've been and what I have done. It's gonna take me a minute to figure it out, but we'll get there. Arcade, please. Ah! Snack breaks, huh? You reach into the vending machine slot. See? I got there. See, I got there. You are a little sneaky, but all of the clues were there. And it made sense. Can I clean that up, please? I have one job here, and it's to clean things. A toolbox. Feels light. There's not much in here. Got a screwdriver, though. Guess I could use this for something. And nothing on the shelves. Okay. We have a screwdriver. We have a skeleton that has screws in it. So let's go unscrew a skeleton. I think I could take this apart. Are you sure it's okay? What if they get mad at us?
No.
I wouldn't worry about that. Take what you need. I just have this idea. We got skeleton hands. Basilis, I can't say I follow. Can I not set these here? I need the cassette first. Arcade, I'm real dumb. Listen, I'm real dumb. New hire likes Chuck. Please keep Chuck in the X-ray room. Okay, but I have skeleton hands that I want to put in the X-ray machine. I wasn't trying. What the? Listen. Listen.
Right.
We're just gonna move on as if nothing happened. It hasn't taken me that long to get there. It did just take me a minute. It's fine. Listen, all my troubleshooting powers were used at work today. That is my job. And then I get onto stream and it's just empty brain hours, okay? I'm sorry. Alright, what's your plan, Vasilis? It's really silly, but I just feel like maybe you could tell us something? No, I appreciate it. It's one of those things where, like, I am so grateful that you're here because it does help getting directed every so often. I just also don't want you to think that, like, I wouldn't necessarily consider any of this too difficult. I wouldn't consider it easy either. I'm just an idiot. I just have, like, 2 brain cells at any given moment, and it does take me a moment sometimes to fully process everything, but I get there eventually. Probably. Normally. Okay, I'm very bright, but all of my mental capabilities have been used earlier in the day, so we get here and it's just me being like, ha ha ha. We get here and it's just me being incredibly silly because I can't think anymore.
Yes.
I've thought enough today. There! Your X-ray is captured. Go ahead and place the next cassette down. I'll activate it again once you're out of the room. Swap out the cassette with another and replace the hands on top. Hey, Vasilis? Yes? Can I ask you some stuff about Dr. Tetra? What? You know he can see us through the glass, right? Yeah, but I don't think he can hear us. I don't want to keep him waiting. Let's bring him this cassette. Then we're back in here. You can ask me, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, alright. Mary, do you want to ask me why he's so cute? It's because he is, and you should get married. Second X-ray's done. Halfway there. You swap out the cassette with another and replace the hands on top. What did you want to ask me about Dr. Tetra? Hold on a second, gotta take a drink. I only mention it because you can't see it. And yeah. So I've drunk some water.
Well,
It's just Dr. Tetra. Do you like him? I love him. Do I like him? Yeah, like, do you think he's likable? I mean, it's like, I guess. Yeah, I like and I trust. Oof. I like him. I like him. Arcade. You know, Fruity, please. That is very on brand. Listen, we know what my feelings on Reggie are, and why my feelings for Reggie are what they are. I trust him about as far as I can throw him, which I guess I could probably throw him pretty far. So maybe I trust him. Yeah, I'm trying to think of I don't trust him. Which is why I like him. Listen, there's a reason. There's a very good reason why my taste in characters is fictional, or why processing. It's a good thing that the types of characters I like are relegated to the realm of fiction, because oh boy, would I be in trouble. There's a reason we call him Reggie and not Trustworthy Gentleman Reggie. Although we do sometimes call him Gentleman Reggie. Because he's a gentleman. I like Dr. Tetra. We butt heads a little bit sometimes, but it's not like I have anything serious against the guy. Like, I don't know. He's fine. I guess I like him more than I dislike him. Why? Do you not like him?
No.
No, not at all. It's not anything like that. I'll tell you when we're back in there. Right, Fruity, you are so based for that. Listen, it is Reggie loving hours here on my channel. Because look at him! Look at him! Oh, he's just... Mwah. Just sweet little... Mwah. Blowing him kisses. Mwah. He's perfect! Yeah. Third x-ray is done. One left. Must admit, I'm not quite sure what you're doing. But as long as whatever it is works, I guess. You swap out the cassette with another and replace the hands on top. It's just that I've been starting to worry that maybe he doesn't like me. Mary! Listen! You sweet darling. My favoriteest little lady. Oh, honey, I want to take her face in my hands. I just wanna cup her face in my hands and stare into her eye and be like, Mary, you fool. You absolute buffoon. You silly, silly little lady. And, yeah. Oh, I get it though. Listen. Right, Mary, you don't even understand. You are engaged to this man. Oh, baby.
Huh?
What? What would make you think that? It's hard to explain, at least here. But you feel it too, don't you? What do you mean? Feel that he doesn't like you?
Well...
No, like, when you're sick, people treat you differently when you're sick, don't they? I guess. People will, like, dote on you a little more. Never mind. I'm being silly. No, Mary! I mean, yes, you are. But at the same time, we can talk about this. Listen! And by listen, I mean talk. I listen. Listen, Kaysh, listen. And then Mary tells me all about this, and we can talk it through, and it's gonna be great and wonderful, and we're gonna process so much stuff. Yeah, you're being silly, but not for the reasons that you think. Listen, and it's okay to be silly. It's okay to have silly little thoughts sometimes. But talk to me about him. Let's go. Saying those things about Dr. Tetra, I wasn't trying to make him look bad. Talking about it made me feel better. Let's just finish this up. Sure, alright. But also, this does mean Vasilis and Mary are best friends now. And that's it. Just go fetch the cassette and we're all done. All done. Hope this works, or I'm gonna feel really stupid. I don't think you're stupid. Thanks. Mary! My baby! There we go. Let's see what we captured. Ugh. Wait. Arcade. Am I correct in remembering that canonically, Mary is autistic? So I just put them in here? Yes, that's right. Now we can pull it up on the screen like this. I love her for that. Genuinely, though, I love her for that. I feel seen. This is the hardest puzzle in the game? Okay. Okay, we got this. Oh, that's odd. Did you do this? Do what? Well, take a look. Huh? Oh, I like this already. In front of me? No, Vasilis. Hold on. I'm gonna stare at this for a minute, right? So we've got wait, the fingers are missing in some of them. So we've got 3. Wait, the first one said front, right? Hold on. Fuck, I gotta start over again. I think I understand. So we've got in front of me. And we've got, and if I'm like super off base here, tell me. In has 3 fingers. Of has 5? In me up front? What the heck? Me has all 6. Me has 6. Front has 4. 3, 4, 5, 6? Huh? This is def off base, okay. Huh. One hand represents one thing, the other represents another. Okay, hold on. I'm going to draw this out for myself. Yeah, this is okay. This is gonna hurt my brain a little bit. You know what? We'll get there. It's fine. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No. The number of fingers missing isn't. Yeah, no. That's silly. That's incredibly silly. Is it? We've got 2 hands. Oh! Okay, wait. In? I probably do. I'm trying. There's a lot of information for me to parse here, and I am struggling. Oh, I think I get it. Wait. One of them is the order. Okay. So we've got... I'm writing stuff down is what's happening here. The left hand and the right hand. I'm making myself a little chart. Is it the number of fingers that are up, or the number of fingers that is missing? So like the left hand here would be 1. Number that's up. Okay. That feels like a silly question, but I just wanted to make sure. So we've got 1 on the left hand, and yeah, that's what I thought, but I just wanted to make sure. And then the right hand, that's okay. This does make more sense to me then, because I think in of has Okay, I'm adding to my little chart here. Me. I'm circling which one is the order. So left has 4, and that's the order one. And right has 2. I get it. I kind of get it. I think I'm counting the second number for no reason, but you know what? That's okay. I'd rather do that because that's already what I've established. And then this one is 2. So... Well, wait. I already figured out the order. It's in front of me. And then it's the no, because they're all 2. Me just wheezing as I stare at everything and go, I thought I had it. Yeah. Okay. So then... 1? No, because that would still put the... So it's... Hold on. So this one, in, is 1, right? Of is the third. Me is the fourth. And front is 2. Which would then make it in front of me. Am I? Yeah. Yes, please. The other hand is confusing me because it's the same... Like, it's the same hand, but just swapping... Just swaps which side it is sometimes. Oh... Oh, that makes sense. So forward? No. No. Down. Okay. Nope, I understand now. Okay. Yeah, no, this makes sense. I like it. I'm just... We just struggled a little bit. Because I don't know how to do nothing sometimes. That's okay. So we go right for of. Me is down. And front is also down? Down. Ha! Okay, I think... I think where I got confused... Yeah, we'll never forget the fiendish in front of me puzzle. I think where I got confused is I figured out the order just based on the words. And then from there I just shut down and was like, but I know that it's in front of, it says in front of me, and y'all saw my first instinct was to go in front of the skeleton. I just didn't put it together that I needed to wiggle around a little bit. Okay. Maybe on a day when I was, firing on all cylinders, could have potentially gotten there after a while. That's smart, though. Again, it is all there. I just can't put it together myself. Do you see that? Hold on. You have to come at it from the right angle. Do you see it? It's like the wall is made of 2 different materials or something. What if I just... Basilis, what are you... You broke the wall? I thought you said we shouldn't worry about anyone getting mad. That was about taking apart of a skeleton model, not busting into the... What's this? Received OR key. I know it's OR, but also OR. The operating theaters. That's through the door that was open earlier. For my ORs. Okay. Do a save. Also, what time is it? We've been streaming for like 2 hours. Which is about when we usually finish. And we did kind of just I can't say solved. We're very kindly walked through the last puzzle. But maybe it's time to call it here. And yeah, we solved it! We solved it! We solved it! We did it! I got it! we should probably call it here. And then... I think I'm gonna save one more time just to be safe. I should be able to stream on Wednesday. I like the title music. Here we go. Yeah, I should be able to stream on Wednesday. Again, energy permitting. So far we've been doing pretty good. So yeah, I know I like talked about it a little bit on Friday, but it's been very nice having this VTube model up right now. Shit's a little wild for me at the moment, and I'm getting through it, and we're doing fine, and like overall doing really great. But it does make it very hard for me to be seen, but also since I am an incredibly physically expressive human being, I feel like it's easier to have something that helps with that, and this is a good way to have that happen for me. So long story short, should be streaming on Wednesday. We'll work on this more. Arcade, about how far would you say into the game we are? I mean, obviously it takes us a little longer to get through it because puzzles are hard. But also we're chatting and doing all that stuff. Ooh, okay. Are there... Okay, cool. So like over halfway through, really, kind of. Cool. That's where I was hoping we were with it. So I'm excited to know that we're on track with what I thought we were doing. Dope. So we'll probably play this for like another week or two. I think I'm gonna try and do Friday streams again. Even with Valheim stuff going on, I think we should be able to swing that. But that also depends on how long Kingdom Hearts goes with Sylvie and Fruity and Nem and the gang. So we'll tentatively plan Friday. For sure Wednesday. Let's say we're not streaming on Friday, and if I happen to, then I'll make the announcement and let everyone know as soon as I know. But yeah, that's all we got for now. Who do we have online at the moment? Oh, excuse me. Yeah, we do gotta do the Kingdom Hearts nonsense. That is top priority. And if I end up being too tired to do my own stream after that, that's fine, because Kingdom Hearts comes first. But yeah, I have a couple people on right now. Do y'all want to go say hello to Chew? Y'all want to go say hi to Hugh Chew? It's been a minute since we raided them. I have no idea what they're playing. What this? Daedalus, The Awakening of Golden Jazz. We can ask them about how to do VTuber stuff. It's true. Alright, yeah, let's go say hi to Chew. We've got the raid messages above if you're gonna raid out with us. Let me actually set up a raid so that happens. But yeah, we will see y'all on Wednesday. And yeah, I don't know. That's all I got. I've been having a lot of fun with the streams that we've been doing. Weekend stuff has been delightful. This game has been very wonderful and lovely, and I've been having fun messing around with the VTuber model. So, until next time, take care of your dang selves. I love you. Have a good rest of your time zone, and take care. Bye, friends!